story, and I actually could not figure out how to like attach a link that wasn't yet present because it was a live stream. I had no clue how to do that. So if you're on the live stream, your name is probably Mike because you're in Chapman Radio and you know how to get on there. Um, but yeah, this weekend was a lot of fun. I think my friends are listening because they're texting me. Oh, hi Carly, hi Seb, hi Eden. Um, but this weekend was a lot of fun. It was my friend Lee's birthday. That was the main purpose I went back to LA, and I'm really sorry, Lee. We barely stayed at your party. We flew away very quickly. But it was a lot of fun. For those of you that are familiar with Los Angeles, or if you've been there or really just know anything about the club culture there is a new club that has opened in the last couple of months, and its name is Keys. It's definitely something, to say the least. It's definitely an experience that I hope everyone has once, and I'm not sure you need twice. I've been there, I think, like 4 times, and every time I've been there, I've seen just like something fucking insane. Something insane that like I don't feel the need to see again. Like this past weekend, or not this past weekend, this was literally last night. This was less than 24 hours ago. Me and my friends were in Keys, and like, you basically have to rent a table to stay at this club. I don't really know how the whole thing works, but essentially the clubs stay open by like really rich people getting tables and then buying bottles of alcohol where they will give you like the shittiest fucking bottle of tequila, and they will charge you $500 for it 'cause it's like bottle service, because some chick brings it out in like a thong from like Leg Avenue. Like it's a pretty unique experience. But so we were there last night, and I'm like, my digital footprint's gonna be so crazy when I publish all this stuff online. I forget the YouTube links are like always up though. The live stream just automatically upload after, and I have no control over that. But the owner of this club, I think that's like what his vibe is. I don't know exactly what he does. But he's always been super nice to me. Like, he would see all the stuff I would post about like politics, and he like had like similar views, I guess. So he would like send me something. I was like, okay, like yes, I appreciate it. You appreciate me more for just being like a pawn in your little promotional game where you like bring chicks to your club to get more like creepy men to come. But last night it was everyone takes these bottles, and if you have a bartending kit, you know what I'm talking about. It's like the tips you stick into hard liquor bottles so they pour out in like a straw so you can get more precise measurements. But they all have those for like pouring, and everyone takes them and like takes pulls with them. And so I did that, and this man saw me and he literally yelled at me. I was frozen. I thought he was joking at first. Do you guys ever have those moments where you think someone's joking, then you're like, oh fuck no, they're being serious. I'm in trouble. But I thought he was joking. He was like, that's so disgusting. I also, for reference, I didn't touch my fucking mouth to it. I waterfalled it. I'm like super weird about germs, like especially about spit. Like, I would not put my mouth to like something like that a bunch of people are using. And he was like, that's absolutely disgusting. Like, I pay for that. Like, this is my table. Other people drink that and you're doing that. Like, what the fuck? That's literally so weird. You're so weird. I was like, what the fuck? Like, why am I being called out in this club for something I like didn't do? I was like, everyone else is doing it. But so that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and I kind of realized, I was like, why do I enjoy being here? I'm not sure I do. I like being around my friends, but the entire dynamic of a club is kind of like, if you're a woman, like you just want to kill yourself a little bit. It's like a bunch of dudes trying to hit on you, and then like your friends trying to block these dudes from you, but then them like trying to finesse in on your friends so that they can get closer to you, and you're like, fuck. Like, it's a never ending like spider web of like darkness. But I had fun overall. There's a lot to unpack from the night. I gave my friend the option of like calling in, so I'm not sure when I'll have him do that. But also, I didn't like say anything of what had happened the weekend prior on my last show because I did like an interview. Um, but basically last weekend I was at this party, um, was not having a good time. I mean, it was like fun. Once again, I was with my friends. A guy walked in who is like very scary to me because he has tried and has hurt me and like quite a few of my friends. And so he walked in. I was like, okay, great. Like, no. Eventually, we're able to leave. We go in this car. There's like too many of us. So one of my friends is like sitting on someone's lap, and this guy just started like rubbing his hands up her fucking body. Like, it was not chill. It was absolutely not chill. And this is a guy who's like, he's kind of part of squad. I've never considered him a friend. I've considered him like something I will use for business. Or like to get stuff. And that sounds fucked up, but is it fucked up when this man is groping you? Is what I'm doing more fucked up? I don't think so. But I like have made it very clear, like, stop, like, get the fuck off me, like, but it's like hard sometimes because when people do stuff, you just freeze. People are always like, why didn't you say like stop? Like, cause I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked. This man also, like, you would think he's a fucking twink. Like, I saw him one time wearing a chrome heart shirt and it was completely bedazzled. I was like, ain't no fucking way. Like, the closet is clear, my friend. But he almost, like, compensates for, I don't even know if he's, like, actually gay or, like, what the vibe is. But he, like, overcompensates by being extremely predatory towards fucking all of us. Like, all of us women. It's not chill. He used to just, like, say weird stuff to me. Like, he would just say all this weird shit to me, but it was like, whatever. Because, like, it's so hard because he wasn't technically doing anything wrong. But, like, last weekend was the first time I was like, okay. Like, I've seen him do weird stuff to my friends, but it's never like, it's always just like he's being pushy. Like, he's never, like, actually physically doing something. But, like, this past weekend, he was physically doing something, and it was not okay. And I'm sorry, but, like, drinking is not an excuse for being predatory. Because, like, if that's what you're doing when you're drunk, that's what you want to do when you're fucking sober. You just have, like, enough restriction when you're sober to not do it. But he was, like, feeling up, like, one of my friends, absolutely not fucking okay. And then I was, like, in the middle seat. So she was, like, partially on my lap, partially on his. And this man literally grabbed my fucking face. He grabbed my face, like, if you're on the live stream, like, the way you grab someone's face to, like, kiss them. Like, if you used one hand. Like, he grabbed my jaw. And I was like, what the actual fuck? Like, do not do that. That is not okay to do. At all. Like, I think it's honestly really weird when people touch people they don't know well in general. Like, I feel like the shoulder is, like, that, like, the shoulder and hands are, like, the only thing in my opinion where it's, like, that's not, like, weird. But, like, do not fucking touch someone's face. And he was, like, trying to turn my face to, like, the only thing I could assume to do was to try to kiss me, which is insane. Absolutely wild behavior. Like, it's like, first of all, I don't know where you get the confidence. This man, literally, when I say he is, like, 5'4", I'm pretty sure I'm in the correct range by, like, an inch or two. He is a small ass man. Oh, there's someone, like, in the recording studio. I just saw that, scared the shit out of me. Yeah, he is a small ass man, little tiny man. Looks super gay, just goes a little bit too hard for Halloween, where it's like, I know you're dressed as a pirate, but, like, you look like you're enjoying wearing that eyeliner a little too much. Like, that looks like an everyday look. Like, do you want me to take an Instagram pic for you? But he was trying to grab my face, and then he fucking, like, later in the car ride, grabbed my neck, like, fucking choked me. I was like, I was about to snap, but I didn't, I froze instead of snap, which I guess, like, is good, because there's not really anything I could do. We were so, like, confined together in the car that any range of motion I made would, like, touch someone else too. But he did that, absolutely not chill. So we're, like, super uncomfortable from all this, obviously. And I had a feeling he was going to be at Keys when we went there. And, of course, we saw him. He was wearing a graphic t-shirt in, like, Helvetica font, like, so large, that just said, I like girls who like girls. Like, okay, Haley Kiyoko, like, are you a lesbian? What's going on? Why are you wearing that? What the actual fuck is going on? But yeah, that was a really interesting choice. I wonder if that was like a shout out for me specifically, where he was like, "Ooh, I know Bella swings both ways. Let me try to appeal to her with this like really scary shirt I bought that seems like predatory already." But we saw him in the club, and he, like, I saw him and he looked at me, and I just kind of was like gave like an acknowledgement, you know, but I made it very clear, like, I do not want to fucking talk to your bitch ass. And he then, like, a couple minutes later came up to me. It's so packed in these things too, where it's like, it's pretty hard to like run away from people because it's like moving through tar. And he like grabbed me around my waist. Not okay. Don't fucking do that. Like, if I'm not into you, like, do not do that. It's weird. Like, if we're not like good friends or like we're dating, don't do that. But he wrapped his hand around my waist, and then I felt it move down my hips towards my ass, and I started like tightening up, and then he moved it like up my back, around, like, across my body, so his hand was like started to wrap around my neck, and I like fucking chicken punched him. And what I mean by that is I had my two arms up in elbows, and I just went like boink, and like I just like knocked him over with my elbow, and I did not use a lot of force. And when I tell you this man tipped over like a fucking bowling pin, like, are you gonna fuck with a girl that's 8 inches taller than you? I will beat your ass. Sorry, but I will. Like, my dad is so against violence, and he told me, he goes, if that motherfucker touches your neck again, hit him in the face. And I was like, bet. Like, I'll do that. I'll break his dumbass nose with his fucking nose stud. It's just, the closet's clear, my friend. It's clear, bro. Come out of it. But he did that, and then I bumped him over, and instead of like realizing from that, like, hey, maybe what I was doing is wrong. Maybe I shouldn't like grab a woman. He goes, oh, so you don't fuck with me? Like, really like pissed. I was like, yeah, I don't fuck with you. Get away from me. But that was a really, really interesting experience. And he kept trying to come up to me throughout the night, and I was like, get the fuck away from me. Yeah, but it's fun in the club with my friends. Everything else going around is like, help. Like, I can't stand what is going on. And oh wait, shit. Can you guys hear me? Text me if you can hear me, because one of you saying you can, one of you saying you can't. Yeah, but anyway, very, very interesting weekend. Oh, that's so cute. My friends are sending me photos of them listening. Yeah, okay. So now I'm gonna go to my my list of things that happened over this weekend and week that I want to talk about. So first off is the LA homelessness problem. If you've been to LA, I'm sure that you've been able to tell that we have quite an explosion of homelessness. Like, the population is so bad. So many fucking people are homeless. It's really sad, but also it's absolutely insane, like, what happens with the people that aren't just homeless, but they're crackheads. And I'd like to dive into that a little bit, because I've had quite a few interesting experiences with crackheads where it's like, whoa, like, what's up? Like, I'm scared, but also, like, this is insane. So I actually, like, haven't really talked about this very much, which is crazy because it's a very big part of my life. But I am a volunteer worker at an LA County animal shelter. I've been doing it since February of last year. So, like, I think that's 9 months. Or, yeah. But I've been doing it since then. It's a lot of fun. It's really hard, and it's a lot of work. I actually have to edit, like, a bunch of the photos for the animal shelter after this, because there were a lot of dogs this weekend, so I have to edit 16 different dogs, which is a lot, but it's fine because it's worth it because I'm helping out. Anyway, me and my dad were on our way home. It's in Baldwin Park, too, which is like an hour away from my house. And so we were in Baldwin Park, and we were driving back, and we were in Studio City. We had gone to go get Pokey. And me and my dad were driving down Ventura Boulevard, and all of a sudden, there is this man in, like, a tracksuit with a French bulldog, and he is screaming at this fucking crackhead. I'm assuming because the crackhead, like, tried to attack him or do something. The crackheads in LA are fucking insane. It's absolutely wackadoodle, the stuff they'll do. It's really sad, but it's also, like, dangerous for the people around them, where it's like, whoa, like, But basically, me and my dad were driving down Ventura, and we were in, I'm not good like directionally, but we were going towards my house from Baldwin Park, and there was like we were in the right lane, like the rightmost lane, so we were like close to the sidewalk, if that makes sense. And this man with the French Bulldog is yelling at this crackhead. This crackhead sprints out, jumps in front of my dad's car. He has to slam on the brakes, like literally almost hit the man, woman, they, them. I don't know what it was. Sorry. But this crackhead ran out in front of my dad's car. He had to slam on the brakes. My window was completely rolled down. I rolled that shit up so quickly. The crackhead started doing like weird shit on our, like around our car, and then started running towards it, fell over, got back up, ran back in front of the car. Their pants dropped all the way down, and there was some nasty shit going on, like full ass flash. And then they started charging back towards the man with the French Bulldog, and he started making just like weird sounds at them, and they ran across Ventura and their pants fell down again. But it's pretty crazy, the homelessness problem. But the crackheads are also like actually insane. I've had some other weird shit happen. I was in Venice one night when I was in high school because I used to date someone that lived over there. And they lived like on not Ocean Boulevard. I forget what it's called. It's like Ocean Parkway. It's the street right in front of the beach. It's like the alleyway you drive down if your house is right on the beach. And there was this trash can spilled in the middle of the road. And I was driving my partner's car, and I drove over the trash because what was I supposed to do? Like get up and move all the fucking trash so I could like drive not over it? Like who cares, you know? And I drove over it in this trash can. A homeless person popped out of the trash can on the floor, like popped out. Or maybe it wasn't a homeless person. Maybe it was just someone on drugs. I don't know. It was someone who was cracked out. They popped out. They completely stripped out of their clothing, started like dancing like a monkey. That's the only way I can describe it. And started charging towards our car. It was so scary. It was absolutely insane. I've had a lot of weird shit happen. I saw another homeless person when I was like on, I think it was Santa Monica Boulevard, and I was about to get onto the freeway. Maybe it was Wilshire. And I saw this homeless person just like just drop their pants and like so gross, but literally just like shit straight onto a tree. Like it was insane. It's absolutely insane. Some of the stuff you see when you live in LA long enough, it's insane. But once again, very sad. Not trying to like make fun of it. It's just it's crazy to experience it. It's insane. It's absolutely wild. But so that's something I saw this weekend. It's always nice to volunteer and then like almost hit a crackhead with your car. It's a lovely, lovely experience. Okay, so it's like getting into finals week. We basically we have this week, and then we have off for Thanksgiving for a week, and then we have 1 week of school, and then it's finals week, and then we're done, and we have 6 weeks off, which is crazy. It's too much time to be home with my family. I'm not sure I can do it, but I also don't think I want to live at my apartment alone for like 6 weeks. I'm not sure that would be the vibe. But for one of my finals, I am doing a project on situationships. I'm in a group with 2 other girls, and we're doing our whole project on just like modern dating in college and what it's like. And I wrote a bunch of stuff for our pitch where we kind of like simplified it, but I think there's definitely going to be like a trend where on how it like affects people's mental health, especially in like women more so than men, because it's like a lot of these like guys and like frats and stuff who are just assholes who just like sleep with a bunch of girls, and then they're like, no, but like I'll like kind of commit to you like a little bit. But we were talking with our like teacher too about how like situationships are quite degrading, because it's just like, oh, like, yes, I'm gonna be with you, but I'm not fully gonna be with you because I don't want to fully commit and I want to be able to get with other people. But so that's something we're doing. We're interviewing a bunch of people tomorrow. I texted a couple of my friends. I texted one of my friends that's a frat, and I was like, hey, can I interview you for my class? I think you'll be a great specimen. And he like didn't reply, and I was like, oh fuck, all the frats are on like their trips this weekend. I was like, perfect, like more content for my interview if I can get it. But so I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be very very validating, because I'm going to be like, okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one that feels this way. I think it's so weird, like, being in college with the whole, like, concept of modern dating and just, like, what it's like. I mean, my freshman year, I was in a relationship for most of the time. And, like, when I wasn't, I was, like, exclusively hooking up with other people. And then the older I got, it just felt like the looser people got and the more I wanted to shoot myself. I couldn't do it anymore. Like, I couldn't be like, oh my God, yeah, that's totally fine. You told me you loved me, but then I saw you try to make out with one of my friends at, like, your frat party. Like, yeah, that is chill. Because no, it's not. Like, what the actual fuck? Don't do that. It's not okay. It's absolutely not okay. But I think that that'll be a lot of fun. I'm really interested to hear how other people feel, because, like, I was talking to one of my friends, shout out if you're listening, girl. But I was talking to her and I was like, dude, like, have you hooked up with anyone, like, recently? She's like, no. And, like, I haven't either. And I think it's just because there's absolutely, I don't know if it's like my frontal lobe developing now that I'm 21 or that I'm just getting older, but there's nothing to me that, like, feels validating about having someone just, like, be sexually attracted to me and being like, yeah, like, I can fuck you. Like, what's validating about that? It just makes me feel like shit, because it makes me realize that people only care about the way I look, which is also shitty. I think it's hard in, like, my line of work where your entire job and career is based on the way you look. People saying, oh, you look like you gained weight. Oh, like, your face is too fat. Oh, you need to dye your hair this color. You need to stop working out because you look too muscular. It's just, there's a lot of, or like, there's a lot of different things where it's just something I have to hear so often that when I realize someone is just, like, into me for the way I look, I'm like, oh, like, that's okay. I'll just keep waiting. I'm totally chilling by myself. It's, sorry, we have, like, a cough feature on this mic, but then it's just, like, 2 seconds of dead silence. I like, my best friend, I think it was like 2 years ago. No, was it 2 years ago? It was a year and a half ago. My, like, best friend at Chapman, she told me, she was like, you are hooking up with, like, these absolutely horrible, disgusting men who you share actually no characteristics with. Like, all the guys I would get with, because I'd pretty much only see them, like, when I was under the influence somehow. So it was just, like, it was chill that way. But then whenever I, like, would talk to them sober, I was like, I really don't like you. Like, I don't like you at all. You're short. You're, like, kind of mean. And you're pathetic. And the biggest thing you can do is, like, play die. Like, congrats. Do you have chlamydia? Like, it's like that. It's just, there was nothing, like, validating about that anymore. And, like, my best friend literally told me, she was like, you need to get a vibrator and stop. I was like, okay. And, like, since then, everything's been chill. It's just, I feel like there's no happiness in just being like, yeah, let me go get with this guy that hooked up with, like, 10 other girls within the last semester when, like, I've been working on myself and, like, doing all this stuff and volunteering. You know, it's just not to section people, but it's like, I feel like there's, like, you can tell when people are in line and have their shit together, and then when people don't. And I feel like what I've kind of seen a trend is a lot of people in college, it's, like, fun partying and all that stuff your first year, like, second year. It's great to do. It's awesome. And, like, I party a lot, but I have, like, a balance where I have hobbies and activities and, like, a personality outside of just being, like, a college student, if that makes sense. But also, when I say college student, I mean it in, like, the sense of, like, oh, you're in college, like, have fun. Not in, like, the sense of, like, being academic. Because a lot of these motherfuckers are barely passing school, too. And it's just, what I also don't understand is Chapman is so fucking expensive. And yes, there's, like, scholarships and stuff. But at the end of the day, you're still paying thousands of dollars to go and get your education. Why are you skipping class to, like, shotgun with your friends? And why is that something that we're so down for, I feel like, as as women, where it's like we'll like disagree with a lot of the stuff our boyfriends or like significant others do, or our situationships, whatever the fuck you want to say. But it's just that validation of like talking to someone and being with someone reaches like a higher peak of fulfillment than being like emotionally satisfied with who they are as a person outside the relationship. Sorry guys, I like need to drink Red Bull. I'm dying. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. But you know what I mean? I mean, I think I saw this like a lot on TikTok during like I said I wouldn't talk about politics anymore, but like with the election where there was like a lot of women that were like, "Yo, this is not chill, the stuff Trump's doing." But their boyfriends were like voting for Trump, and it's just they wouldn't say anything cuz it's like girl, you're fighting cuz you think your rights are getting taken away, and like your boyfriend doesn't give a fuck. Like he doesn't give a shit. And it's just like, is that sense of validation worth more than like your self-worth? Like I saw this interview that Halsey did, and it was really interesting, and it really made me, it like shifted my perspective because she was saying, I think, what if you were the person you were dating, would you be satisfied with like who you are as a person? Would you be proud of who you are? Are you proud to say you're with that person, you know? And I think that's important to think about, cuz that's something I didn't think about a lot. And I think it's hard too, especially in our generation, because there's so much instant like gratification, especially with like dating apps and Instagram and the whole like, oh, he liked my Instagram story, you know, where it's just we don't take the time to really like look into things because things move so fast. And I think that's something I'm learning to do the older I get, which is really good because I'm a lot happier than I was. I just remember like crying over these guys that are like actually like fucking butt fuck stupid brain retarded. And it's like, why were you wasting all your time on that? Why were you wasting all the energy on that you could have been doing something else? You know? And I think that definitely roots back to some problems I probably have with relationships, like most definitely, but I think it's also a part of me getting older and sort of like realizing my worth, you know? And I think it's gonna be just like good from here on, you know? I'm really glad I've like reached the point where I still like give in to the asshole sometimes, definitely. Like most definitely I have slip ups like constantly. But in my head, I know that I don't need anyone else to be happy with like who I am as a person. I don't need anyone to validate me or say they need me, you know? It's like I have great friends. I have a job that I haven't been working because I've been in school. But I'm in school. I have great grades. I live in a beautiful apartment. I love my roommate. I have my puppy that I love. Like it's like, why do I need like a boyfriend or girlfriend? Like I don't, or are they friends? No exclusion here. But like I don't need that in my life. And it's okay. Like I feel like especially in this time of your life, it sounds like right now like I'm trying to convince myself that it's okay that I'm single, but like I genuinely mean this. Like I think it's important to have, I've always, with people I've had as partners, I've like befriended them first for a little bit, and then it's like you kind of like go into the friendship knowing there's vibes, but it's like you don't go in like heavy, and then like you kind of see if it happens. But I think like that's definitely a good way to approach things, you know? And I'm done with just the instant like hookup stuff. I can't do it. It like kills me. It actually kills me, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then I get like sex flashbacks, and I'm scared. I'm like, what the actual fuck was that? Like having someone that close to your face you barely know, like no thank you. I think my brain is like developing, or maybe it's because like I smoked so much weed when I was young that like slowly it's just like the competence is coming back. Okay. So I don't know who here has watched Mike Tyson's fight with Jake Paul, but it was horrible. It's, as someone who's in communication studies, it's really interesting seeing things like this because it's like, oh, like so many people are intrigued by that and they don't know it's just the world's fattest publicity stunt. That fight was actually so bitch made. It was insane. It looked like two fucking kittens swatting at each other. First of all, I felt so bad for Mike Tyson because he's 58. It was like sending your fucking grandpa in the ring to like battle like a gross Viking, like a YouTube Viking. It was disgusting. Like Mike Tyson walked in like limping, like with a knee brace and like a back brace. Also found out that Mike Tyson went to prison for 6 years for raping a minor. So not giving him forgiveness. I'm just saying, like, it felt like elderly abuse. It felt like elderly abuse what Jake Paul was doing. He's also disgusting. Like, the stuff he was doing, I'm like, how much juice are you on, my boy? Like, it was, like, actually insane the way he was behaving. But he beat Mike Tyson, and it's like, okay. You could just tell by the way they were boxing that it wasn't, like, actually, nothing was actually going to happen. They were swatting at each other. It was pathetic. It was actually so pathetic. And you know, like, if Mike Tyson wanted to, he could rip, like, a punch to the head on Jake Paul and just knock him out. But it was definitely, like, a business agreement. Mike Tyson made $20 million. Jake Paul made, like, $40 million. Jake Paul was then saying he wants to battle the, like, modern-day heavyweight, which would absolutely... That guy wouldn't follow, like, a script the way Mike Tyson would. Like, Mike Tyson definitely did that for money. The actual heavyweight champion, who has a lot to lose because he's, like, young and currently still fighting, like, yes, he would not stick to the script. Like, you'd get your head smashed in. It's also just insane. I saw, like, all these comments on this TikTok about the fight where it was just, like, our celebrities and Gen Z are so sad. Like, Jake Paul, JoJo Siwa, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, Maddie Ziegler, like, it's like, who are these, like, famous people? They're all just, like, internet, like, celebs that have just become, like, A-list, which is kind of insane, and I feel like that's just going to continue with our generation. Like, I can't really think, the only people I can think of that are, like, true, like, stars still are, like, people that are in TV, so maybe Zendaya, maybe Jacob Elordi, Timothy Chalamet, are they Gen Z? I think they're Gen Z. I'm pretty sure, like, Gen Z, like, the end of it is, like, 30 now or something. Or, like, maybe 27, I think, because my friend Adam's in the cutoff. But it's kind of crazy. It's like, oh, okay. Like, Jake Paul, like, the Team 10 guy just boxed fucking Mike Tyson. Did you see that? I combined Mike and boxed. But it's like, it's insane. It's insane what's going on. I'm like looking at my notes for the show. Some of my notes are just so insane. So I love airing out my family's personal information for other people to hear. But so basically my freshman year of college, my parents announced to me that they had been separated and that they were going to get a divorce. Since that point, they have yet to get divorced. They have still not gotten divorced. Like, they do not live together. It's a super weird dynamic because when I go home, I live with my mom. My dad doesn't have a place I can stay. So it's like my mom's place is my only option. My dad lives with his girlfriend who, like, sorry, I will never like her just because I know the integrity of their relationship. And I can't respect her. I still haven't met her, and I wish my dad all the best with that. And, like, I'm sure there are really great parts to her, but I just can't respect a homewrecker, you know? But basically, in the time that my parents have been in this separated space, there's a lot of stuff that they've made me talk to them about because I basically thought that they were going to get divorced my entire fucking life. They would constantly fight, like, my whole life, just them screaming at each other. And with being in therapy for so long, I've learned that that's the reason I'm attracted to bad people in relationships. Because I'm used to thinking that relationships are supposed to be, like, fighting, which they're not. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun, or, like, getting through this whole situation with my parents, just being dead smack middle of their divorce. But we've talked a lot about the stuff that they should have done better. They're both working on it. It's, like, nice, I guess. That sounds fucked up. It's It is nice. It's nice that they're like trying to make a difference, but like boy oh boy is it fucking awkward for me sometimes. So keep this in mind. I am 21 years old. I no longer live at home. I live at an apartment. My dad lives by himself, or he lives with his girlfriend, whatever. He lives away. My mom lives by herself. And my parents have now decided that this time in our lives is the right time to start doing family therapy, all of us together. Do you know how fucking awkward that was for me? To be like, oh, like, hey, um, hey, like my parents just on the spot being like, what did we mess up with when you were a kid? I'm like, okay, like this is super awkward vibes, like therapist mediating it, just like straight up not normal, but it's okay, like whatever. I'm trying to see if my friend will call in right now. But it was super weird, super odd. And also, not this weekend, but the weekend before, maybe it was 2 weekends before, I went to Keys with my friend, Bella Morgan, my best friend from high school. And she basically, my dad had just gone back from Europe, and he was like, oh, can you pick me up from the airport? I had volunteering at the animal shelter. I was like, I can't pick you up from the airport. Like, it's too much driving. I will have driven like 4 hours in one day. I was like, can you just Uber back to the house, please? Like, it was during rush hour, too. It was at like 5 p.m. from Beverly Hills to LAX. And so he Ubered back to my house. And by the time he had Ubered back to my house, we had, me and Bella, we had smoked 5 joints. We had smoked 5 joints that I had rolled at my house, very stoned, both of us, extremely fucking high. And my dad was like, Bella, can you come down here? And I was like, sure. And so me and Bella Morgan walk down, like my eyes are like half shut. I am baked. I am in a different fucking universe. And I don't really get high, but it's like when you're tired from volunteering for that fucking long, like doing 6 hours of manual labor, being in the sun, you know, the weed hits a little harder. And so we're sitting there, we're trying to act like we're not high. The first thing my dad says when he walks in is he goes, whoa, does it smell like pot in here? I was like, fuck. Because I just feel like there's something awkward about your family, like knowing that you're high, even though I'm high around them all the time. It's like you're trying to act sober because you're not like fucked up, you're just stoned. But also, like, they can tell. They can always tell. Like, my eyes are glassy as hell. And they're asking us, like, all these questions, and we're just like, mm-hmm. And they're, like, bickering about their fucking divorce. It was so weird. They were bickering about their fucking divorce. It was so uncomfortable. We're sitting there stoned out of our minds, didn't even know what to say, for, like, 30 minutes. It was really interesting. It's also super weird being like a child of divorce and going home for the holidays. Like my dad was like, "Do you want to get Thanksgiving breakfast?" like last year on Christmas and Thanksgiving, I'm pretty sure we went to Mel's Diner. And then he's like, "Okay, like bye." He told me he's going to Europe for the holidays. I was like, "Why would you not tell me that?" Like, hello? I know I'm an adult, but like you're still my father. But he's going to Europe. I was like, okay, have fun, King. But it's super weird, like being a child of divorce during the holidays. It's awkward. It's super awkward trying to figure out what to do with your family. I think the holidays in general are like kind of awkward. I don't really enjoy the holidays. It may be because I'm an only child and I don't have a large family. But it's just not like really like the idea of it being like 50 degrees and having to like go and live at my house for 6 weeks. And just like wait to like see if I see people I know or people are out of town. Like it's kind of a pain in the ass Christmas, to be honest. It's a lot of fun. I like the vibes, but I like the vibes of being with my friends. Like I don't really like the family Christmas vibes. They're weird. They're super weird. Oh my God, wait. I like absolutely have to share something that happened this past week. I totally forgot about this. Thank God I wrote it down. Okay, so I've lived in the same apartment complex for the last 3 years. It's not an apartment complex. I live in like a townhouse. So it's like a front house unit that's split into like a couple apartments, and then a back house unit split into a couple, and I live in the back house. And I'm like the only person that's lived there the entire time. Like we were the first people to live in it. I've lived there the entire time, so I'm like, this is my home. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, this is my home. And it's like, it's a little bit weird when you live in the same place for so long and new people move in and you don't know their habits and stuff, and you have to like adjust to new ways of life. Okay, but anyway, me and my roommate were like best friends. We're very close. And in the front unit of like our back house on the bottom floor, this woman moved in who's like 27, and she is a little bit of a tweaker. She like, when I started parking my car in the driveway at first, because it's right in front of her unit, but like I parked there the entire time I've been there, she would like peek out at me every time I was parking. I'm like, girl, I can fucking see you. And it was a bit weird. But so anyway, a couple weeks ago, me and my roommate noticed that our entire trash cans would fill up, but it was none of our stuff in it. So basically there's like 9 trash cans. It's labeled by unit. I think we have 3 trash cans because we're the only like unit that's actually 2 bedrooms that's made for multiple people. And so all of our trash cans are very clearly labeled, like very big labels on them for people to see. And this bitch kept putting her fucking trash in our trash can, and we just kind of let it go. We were like, whatever. But then we kept noticing it, and it was like more and more and more stuff, and we kept noticing it was more stuff. And I just kind of got to the point where I was like, fuck this. Like, there's this like theory where the third person to piss you off gets like the heat. Like, they get the heat of all your anger. And I think that's, like, the point I was at where I was like, fuck this dumb hoe. Like, I was like, do not use my fucking trash can. First of all, I'm pretty sure that's illegal. I'm pretty sure it's called dumping. Like, because I'm pretty sure I see that on a lot of public, like, trash bins. They're like, no dumping, like, fine $1,000. But I was like, you have your own fucking trash cans. Why are you using ours? And I knew it was her using them because this dumb bitch would throw out her Amazon packages with her unit number on it and her full fucking name. So I had to go to LA for an event because I got invited by Cash App to the Sabrina Carpenter like cafe in West Hollywood because her tour's here right now. And I like had to throw some shit out, and I look in this fucking trash can and I was like, this bitch took up our entire fucking trash can. It was also the green waste trash can, which like they don't separate the trash here in Orange County, I'm pretty sure. So we just use it for normal trash. But like, she can't use it for normal trash. She's supposed to think that's for green waste. Like, so that sounds like a double standard, but it's like, it's not even like she's throwing green waste in there. Like, she's throwing, like, styrofoam and all this stuff. So I start digging through this fucking trash can, and I find the weirdest shit. I found 2 MacBook Pros. Like, 2 MacBook Pros. One of them I literally took out, and I brought it into me and my roommate's apartment, and it, like, turns on. I was like, this is super weird. Like, what's going on? Do you sell drugs on the dark web? Like, why do you have 2 fucking trash cans? Why do you have 2 fucking computers, and why are they in the trash can? And I also see a bunch of stuff from, it's this like, I see this bitch Postmate all the time. It's not Jubilee. It's, Jobily. If you guys know what that is. It's like some fucking fast food restaurant. And so there's like gravy spilled all down the sides of this trash can. Like, we have possums, we have skunks. Like, that attracts all those little nasty rodents. So I was like, fuck this. I go into the trash can, I pull like every single piece of trash I can reach that is this girl's out, and I go into my fucking apartment. I write a note. Let me actually read you guys the note. I have it on my phone. I posted on my private story, and a lot of people thought it was like a note my neighbor left for me, and they were like, that's crazy. I'm like, no, like, I wrote the note. But I wrote and I left this note. I was just really done. I was like, fuck this. Like, this chick is, like, it's like, use your own stuff. Like, fuck you. Why are you being so weird? Okay. So this is what the note said. I said, "Hey girl, me and my roommate have both noticed now that you've been putting your trash in boxes in our trash cans and just throwing them on the ground next to our stuff." Cause she'll just like throw the boxes and stuff like around the trash cans too, which like connects to our backyard. I'm like, don't do that. That's gross. I said the trash cans are in all caps clearly labeled by unit. We are this number. I'm not going to say it. You are not. Stop using our bins. We know it's your stuff because the packages are clearly labeled to your address. And then I gave her the number. And I go, it's so rude and annoying. I was like, it's so rude and annoying you doing this, so please learn to use your own bins. This is the only warning I'm gonna give about this. Please be more considerate of your neighbors, and here are your boxes back. This girl had also just been doing like weird shit throughout the year, and I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I was like, let's not normalize, like, I hate when people are like, you shouldn't say anything. I'm like, no, fuck that. I'm gonna do something. It's like also, I used to be like kind of crazy in high school, and sometimes like that part of my brain taps back in, and I think it did with this. So I take all this trash that this girl has in our trash can, like as much as I could reach without getting like disgusting, you know? And I reach in and I pull all of it out and I put it on her front doorstep. All this like Jollibee gravy like spills all over like these drinks that were in it. I like smack one of the computers on top of everything. And this girl literally just took all the trash and moved it to the side, put it against the wall of her house. It's still there. I did this on Thursday and it's Sunday now and it's still fucking there. And so I was gone like pretty much the whole weekend and also all of the night on Thursday. My roommate didn't tell me this. She told me today, she scared the shit out of me because you know when people are like, I need to tell you something. I was like, girl, what? Like, you're scaring me. And she told me basically that this girl came and took like one of her packages. There was like some package that she put in the trash can that was fully like sealed and like wrapped. Like something that was delivered to her. So I took it and I fucking kicked a hole in it. Sorry. Call me an asshole. I call myself proactive. I don't let people mess with my juju. Like, but she took like a box that was clearly labeled like with her name and she set it against our fucking door. Like she set it against our fucking door. I don't know if it was a threat. I don't know what her move was. But she got back on that shit. I don't know. But me and my roommate, like, I've had a security camera at my apartment, but it needed to get charged, and I, like, never put it back up. So my roommate was like, I think we should put it back up to see if she does anything else. So, like, right before this, me and my roommate were trying to screw it into the ceiling and setting it up so that she couldn't do anything else. But, girl, I really wonder what you're doing with all those MacBook Pros and your monitors. Please stop. She's also like 5 feet tall. And I'm like, I could like kick you like a little like soccer ball. Like, poof, goodbye. Obviously I won't do that. That's a joke. I feel like I need to say sometimes that stuff's a joke because I am very large and muscular and I feel like that could be scary for some people. That's a joke. That was just a joke. But yeah, I guess that's all I have for this week. I'm like overtime and I'm also really tired. I have a final exam on Friday. I have like a group paper due. Hate group papers, but yeah, so I think I'm going to go to bed. But thank you guys for tuning in and I love all of you. And I don't think I have a show next week cuz it's Thanksgiving break. So I guess I'll see you guys in like 3 weeks from now. Wow, that's so crazy to think about. But I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I'm actually sad I'm not going to be doing the radio show. Hopefully, I'll have a lot of stuff to come back to you with when I'm done with my holiday in Los Angeles with my corrupt family. Yeah, all right. Have a good night, guys. Let's see if I can turn Radio DJ back on.
Do you like hardcore punk rock?
The answer to that is no.
Tune in to Pierced Radio.